Hey guys, I'm here with Fabi Aguirre, and we're here to talk about her new Snow Day movie on Paramount Plus, and it's actually a reimagined version of the 2000 film. And I'm super excited, so let's jump right in. But we're gonna start off a little back before we get into Snow Day. So my first question is, what sparked your interest the most about acting and musical theater?
Ooh, I grew up like putting on shows for my family, singing and dancing. I wanted to do this since I came out of the womb. When I was very young, I'd watch a lot of Phantom of the Opera in on YouTube with Sierra Boggess and Ramin Karimloo. I was like, Mom, I want to do that. I want to do that. And but I was very shy. So like I would put on shows for my family, but when friends would come over, I would like hide behind a wall. I would hide behind my mom and I would sing. So it was definitely hard for me to like crack out of the shell. When I was 7 for Thanksgiving, we went to New York, and we got to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I got to see Annie on Broadway. And I was like, Mom, I want to do this. I want to do that. And I remember asking my parents, and they were like, we promise you, like you're going, we'll help you get into musical theater. And so I started taking classes and learning, and then 2 years later I auditioned for Les Mis on Broadway. And funny enough, I got to work with my idol Ramin Karimloo, who I grew up watching Phantom of the Opera with, and I got to work with him. He played Jean Valjean, and yeah, I basically just I grew up. I grew up loving all of this, so it's a dream come true.
Well, I mean, let's get into your first performance because at 9, you played on Les Mis on like Broadway. Like we're talking about Broadway. What do you remember the most about performing in that show?
Oh, so much stuff. I remember um, meeting these incredible people and learning so much from them and working with such amazing people and who have become like my lifelong friends now. I remember I was very, very nervous for my first performance, obviously, but thank God I don't have great eyesight. I can't see from far away, and everyone, like the stage is, everyone, the audience is completely dark. So I was very nervous at first, but little by little you get used to it, and it was just like, yeah, I get to go to the theater today. And it became like it was always such a joy to go. Like I think for some people, like people could be like, oh, like this can get like a little bit repetitive, but for me it was always like every day became more exciting, and I got to learn and work with some incredible directors and and musicians. And it's Les Mis, like Les Mis, just the music and everything. I would get goosebumps when I was 9. My hairs would just like stand up because it's such a good show and such a fun experience, and I was so lucky to be a part of it.
And then from Les Mis, you joined the original cast of On Your Feet playing Little Gloria. What was that experience like for you?
Amazing, because I actually had auditioned for On Your Feet 2 years prior to when I joined the show. And I was going to go um, play Little Gloria for the trial run in Chicago, but I ended up not doing that. And then I auditioned again, and got to be in the Broadway production, and I got to work with Jerry Mitchell, one of my favorite theater Broadway musical theater directors, and I got to meet the Estefans. Like that was the biggest. I remember meeting Gloria that day. We were with we were just the kids, the cast, and I remember that day I was freaking out. I was like, I think today's the day I'm gonna meet Gloria Stefan. And my friends were like, oh, Fabi, I can smell her. She's in the building. And I was like, say that, that's freaking me out. And I met her, and I gave her my hand. I was like, hi, I'm Fabi. And she dodged my hand, and she came for the hug, and she was like, thank you so much for being. I was like, no. And I got to work with Sergio Trujillo, our incredible choreographer. Like so much, such fun people, and it was such a fun show. And it was definitely very different from Les Mis and On Your Feet. So it was like kind of a cool transition to go to like a very serious and a sad but very lovable character to to this, we get to dance and our dresses would sway from left to right. It was so much fun, and getting to represent the Latino community, because I feel like we are not represented enough, and were surrounded by Latinos, and so I felt like, yeah, these are my people, this is my culture, and I get to share this with the world. I get to share what's going on. I'm not Cuban, but I'm Ecuadorian, and but I got to share all the hardships that that the Latino community goes through, and it was such an honor, such an honor.
And in speaking of transitions, you transitioned from Broadway to doing a musical for film
Yes.
in the reimagined version of Snow Day, which came out in 2000. You guys made it a musical, and it was so fun to watch.
Thank you so much.
Like the dancing, the music, everything about it was so fun. But what was the audition process like for becoming Lane for you?
Becoming Lane, well, first off, I had never seen the film before. When I saw that I was like, oh, it's a remake. So I kind of like looked online. I was like, oh, okay, well, I was like, I'm not gonna watch the movie just yet. Like, they gave us a breakdown. So I really wanted to dive into Lane and kind of play around with her. I remember I got the audition for a self tape on a Friday night, so, and it was due Monday morning. So I had the entire weekend to go through her, and I instantly fell in love with this character. She's so spunky and feisty and sarcastic, and she'll do anything for her best friend Hal Bernstein, who was played by the incredible Kai Baldwin, my best friend. And he and we got to so I got to really, like, explore her. And then I remember I auditioned on a Monday, and I think that Thursday we had I was pinned for a callback, so I got to work with Michael Lembeck, our phenomenal director, and he gave me so much redirections, and I was like, whoa, like this is awesome. Like I'm learning so much. And then as the process went on, I did chemistry reads with the cast, and then I ended up watching the movie after I found out I got it, and I was like, all right, now I can see, because I did think it was important to like keep um Skylar Fisk's version of Lane, like her heart and her essence, but definitely important as well to bring my sort of own flair and personality and like my touch to the character. So because it's a new generation and it's a musical, it's a bit different than right than the original. So I think it was I tried to keep a good balance between both of them to capture who Lane really is.
Was it easier or hard to do the dance choreography in the snow?
It was very tough to get used to at the beginning. We had lots of slip and slides, and dancing in the in the jackets, and it's a lot of heavy. It's like you're dancing with a weighted vest. So it was very, in the boots and everything. It's tough to get used to at the beginning, but then I think it took us maybe a rehearsal or two, and we were like, yeah, we got this. This is gonna be fine. So, and we got to and we worked with our incredible choreographers Heather Laura Gray and Christian Cassie Dallasay, and they gave us so many tips to like make sure, like we would kind of split the snow a little bit so we can it could be a bit easier for us. But yes, no, it was hard to get used to, but we had got it done pretty quick, so it was great.
And since you're from Florida originally, and granted you did Broadway, but like it's kind of different from like being in an insulated building and performing and then actually performing outside in the snow. So
Yeah.
what was it like being surrounded by snow and lots of snow?
Lots of snow. It was a dream come true because I was born in Boston and I lived there till I was 4. And then I lived in New York for 2 years, so I did get a white Christmas one year. But I had missed the snow, we do deal a lot with 70, 80-degree Christmases, and I think I wanted I wanted the snow, so we definitely took a lot of advantage. Kai and I, we built snowmen. we went ice skating, the entire cast, all of us, like every weekend. We definitely took advantage of the snow, and it was so much fun to shoot on. Sometimes we actually had to shoot our scenes. We had like a snow farm, because even though it was all real snow, sometimes there were some spots that needed a bit more filling, so they would like truck in like large amounts of snow and just put them like in a park, or where we were shooting at. I remember we had this one scene, our snow angel scene, where we had four different weather fronts, at least four, in the span of 3 to 6 hours. We had hail, light snow, we had like blizzardy snow, we had fog, we had rain, we had it all. And it was me being from Miami that was like, whoa, okay, this is pretty great. So yes, it was great.
How do you truck in snow? In my mind, I'm like, does somebody just store the snow somewhere? They're like, I need you to send it to me.
Exactly. Like, can you bring it? I know it was very hard to 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 process at first. I was like, they exist. They have snow farms, like pumpkin patches, snow farms, and then just, yeah, can I have some snow? And I truck it in, and I fill in the spots that need to be filled, and we were good to go.
And speaking of ice skating, one of my favorite scenes was when your character is explaining why she loved ice skating, because I know that had to resonate with a lot of people why we do certain hobbies or activities that we feel the most beautiful doing. What is the thing that makes you feel the most Bobby?
Ooh, I think for me, feeling the most Fabi, I think being surrounded, like singing and being surrounded, I think, by my friends and family, because either we all just started singing or watching movies or doing something musical together. But yeah, just feeling um, like you can be yourself with, especially with friends and family. But like in singing, I feel like songs and certain music and lyrics, like you can just express yourself the way you want to. So it makes me feel like, yeah, like this is who I am, and it's great. It's so much fun.
What was the scene that was the most fun to film?
Oh, the most fun to film. I think it was the snow angel scene because of our different weather fronts. But I also really, really loved the finale because, like I said, dancing in the snow was incredible, and the choreography was so much fun. And yes, it was such a blast, so much fun, and
I
getting to
mean, let's talk about that finale because I'm sorry, the switch up from the ice skates to the regular snow boots. Like, we need to talk about that. That was a smooth transition.
thank you. I gotta give it to the editors and Michael, our director. I gotta give it to them because it was very smart. I didn't know how they were gonna do it, and when I saw, I was like, that was kind of cool. I like what you did there. It was really fun.
No, for like I'm watching the scene and I'm just like,
How did they do that?
what? What in
It's
the? I like it
it's
was just also very cute. We saw the kiss and then instant choose, and I'm just like, I would love for that to happen in real life. Like if I'm just
right.
having a moment and like skates just disappear. Like
Exactly. It's like magic. Anything can. It's a snow day, so anything can happen. So yeah, it's fun.
for like when you guys were shooting, who would break character the most? Like they couldn't stop laughing while you guys were filming.
Actually, we were all actually, I think Michael Lembeck, our director, was saying that we didn't have a lot of blooper reels as much as we would have thought, as we would have thought. So we didn't have much of like character breaking. I remember this one time, Michaela Russell, who is the most loveliest person on the planet. She plays Natalie Branston. She kind of messed up her words. I remember one scene, so we laughed at that. I remember Kai had he where he was taking out all the papers and showing out his plan. We had a few mishaps with that, but mostly I think for all of us, it would get so cold sometimes that our jaws would just start to freeze. And so at the end of the lines, we would kind of like not enunciate so well. And so we were like, what did you just say? He's like, no, we got to do that again. My lips are frozen. I'm sorry. And I remember at the end of Lane's song, after we watched the movie, on Friday, my friends were like, was your jaw a little firm? I was like, yeah, I couldn't move it, but that's okay. We got the point across. So yes, I think the jaws were the cold was mostly getting to us at that point.
Am I the only person who's watching this film and like the scene with Dirk's character at least, I was like, I want to know what he wanted to tell Lane. I was kind of invested a little bit.
Me too. I think that's a fun that was a fun little twist. I hadn't thought about that, but you know what? I think we should get Dirk's side of the story. We
Because he seems just so lovely and very like obviously flustered because like obviously it seems he has a thing for Lane that just was like kind of unrequited. And then Lane tricks him, and then but I'm in my mind I'm like, what did you want to tell her? Like I need to know.
we all need to know. I think it's important. I think everyone was telling everyone how they felt, so I think Dirk should have had that little his little moment too to say. So yes.
Would you say you're more of a Hal girl or a Chuck girl?
I'm more of a Hal girl. Definitely. I'm very yes, Hal's an amazing guy, and he really cares about, like, you can see how much he cares about Claire and how he cares about Lane, and um Chuck has his priorities a little somewhere else. So I think I definitely go would love a Hal much more. How's the best? He puts so much. He's so cute. He's adorable. I love. Who wouldn't want a Hal?
I love a little awkward. I love awkward guys. They're fun.
Yes, right. It's so cute. I love it.
What is your perfect snow day look like? What does that look like for Fabi?
For fun. That a perfect snow day would be we wake up early because we have to, seize the day, freeze the day. We go to the ice skating rink. We walk to the ice skating rink. We skate for about 2 hours. We walk right back. Maybe make a snow angel, snowman. Have a snowball fight on the way back. We get into our Christmas PJs, ugly sweaters, whatever you want. We bake cookies, gingerbread houses, have hot chocolate, and watch Christmas movies and dance to Christmas music till we get tired. And then, yeah, that's my perfect
Oh,
snow.
that's so cute.
Yeah, I've
I
really
love it.
thought about it. It's like planned out perfectly. So I'm very proud of it.
Did you know how to ice skate before, or did you learn while you were filming?
So actually, I when we got the breakdown for the character Lane, it said, they described her, and at the end it said ice skating abilities a plus. Okay, cool. I didn't think much about it. And when before we what was it before we tested, I got an email saying, uh, "Can you ice skate? If so, can you send us a video?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can ice skate. I can flip and turn and pirouette on skates, but I won't fall." So
I mean, that's important.
that's important. I feel like that's a big step. We're headed in the right direction. So I went to, luckily, thank God, I had an ice skating rink 5 minutes from my house. So as soon as I got that email, even before I got the role, I started going every day. And then especially when I found out I got the role, I went every day and just practiced, like, getting comfortable on skates, um, to ensure that I won't fall, to be 100%. So yeah, so I was, like I said, a very not crazy flips, no turns, but you wouldn't see me fall. I was pretty sturdy on skates. So yes.
And do you have a dream role that you want to play, whether it be Broadway or in film?
I would love to, on Broadway, Christine Daae, Phantom, Elphaba. I love to go back to Les Mis and be Eponine and Fantine. Um, I think also, um, I hope if someone can see this, if you guys make a reimagining of Titanic, I would love to be Rose Dawson. But I think I'd love to play, like, to be in a biopic. I think that's one of my biggest dreams. Like, yeah. So yeah, I have lots of them. So yeah, that's
I
it.
mean, and of course, I just remember we can't talk about Broadway without mentioning the small scene you had with one of my favorite Broadway stars, Miss Laura Bell Bundy. Because I'm a legally blonde girl till I pass out. So even though you just had that small scene, what was it like being on set with her?
She is a sweetheart. She is so much fun. And actually, we didn't I didn't know she was in Legally Blonde till I think she was like, "Do you know Jerry Mitchell, our the director of On Your Feet and Legally Blonde?" And I was like, "No way, were you in Legally Blonde?" And we are like, "Yeah." So we sent a picture to Jerry, and she was a sweetheart. She was so much fun, and she the sweetest, and so much fun to work with.
And what advice would you give to someone who wants to go in acting or musical theater?
If you want to go into acting and musical theater, the first thing I would always say is be humble, keep your essence, and don't let anyone bring you down. And especially if any door closes on you, don't beat yourself up, don't give up, because there will always be another one open. You just gotta keep on going, because that's the way you'll achieve your dreams.
I love that.
Thank you.
And before we go, would you like to play a little holiday this or that?
Oh my god, yes. I love
Okay. So, sorry, get it. Okay. Hot chocolate or apple cider?
hot chocolate, although I've never tried apple cider, but I'm going with hot chocolate.
Gingerbread or sugar cookies?
Sugar cookies,
Holiday pajamas or holiday sweater?
PJs, holiday PJs,
Ice skating or snowball fight?
ice skating. Gotta give it to Lane.
Build a snowman or build a snow angel?
Snowman, because I gotta work on it.
Peppermint or cinnamon?
Oh no. Uh, cinnamon, cinnamon.
Cozy day inside or playing in the snow?
Plain snow, always.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, if you have not watched Snow Day on Paramount Plus, go check it out. It is fun. It is a great, just reimagined version of the original 2000 film, and I love it so much. But also, how would you describe Snow Day in one word for the fans?
Exhilarating. It's exhilarating. It's a blast. So
I
go
can
watch.
definitely see that.